Man, we talked about the run that Adam Sandler had in the 90s. We talked about the run that Eddie Murphy's had in the 80s, but we really haven't talked about the run that Martin Lawrence had in the 90s.
Mm.
And it was a mean run.
Go through, just give the bona fides, Steve, front to back on the 90s.
Start the decade off with House Party. Then we got House Party 2. Well, in between House Party and House Party 2, he was the host of Def Comedy Jam, which opened him up to the HBO world. And then along the way, of course, the show, the sitcom, the hit sitcom that lasted from 92 to 97. Bad Boys happened along the way. Blue Streak happened in the 90s. The movie he did with Tim Robbins, I even like that from like
Nothing to lose,
97,
Steve.
I believe.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
I hated it when I was a kid. As an older man, enjoyed it. Even with Tim Robbins.
Can't forget about his stand-up special, You So Crazy.
That's in my top 3. That might be my favorite stand-up special of all time. I've just watched it. It's one of those where you've watched it so much that you've almost ruined it. But you catch me on the right day and I watch that, I'm still good.
I mean, just like
Mama
the
said,
theme
my
song.
ass.
Just yeah,
It
man.
is kind of, you think about it though. We talk about Sandler, we talk about Jim Carrey, the Chris Farleys of the world. But man, did he really kind of killed the 90s in a way that, I mean, front to back, in a way that almost like, I mean, Will Smith did. But man, both Bad Boys were kind of annihilating the 90s, Steve. I'm not here to argue. You know, I'm a Martin Lawrence lover. So I can't
And
disagree.
I think another thing that made him more famous, and I guess you could say infamous, is the episode of SNL that we're going to cover. If you never heard of Martin Lawrence, because of the tabloids and the articles at the time, that might have been your introduction to Marty Ma.
That is funny, and also it did add a mystique because anybody who is legendary enough to go on a show like SNL and just not give a damn at all, and just say, "I'm," it is what it is, guys. You can't, you can't stop this. So that is legendary, and I even remember when it came, when you could watch it. I don't think I watched the episode like live, but when they would show it on like Comedy Central or wherever you would see that, I mean, just the monologue part where they preempt it and give that funny like monotone description of what he said. I mean,
Jim
it
Downey.
it's so legendary, dude. It's so great.
And I thought I found the whole version, but it nonetheless it's the same exact one that we grew up seeing in Comedy Central, but it's still funny.
I
And
mean,
I think
it's
yeah.
legendary, dude. It's I see what we're missing. And I mean, we'll get to it, but yeah, I mean, it is disappointing. You just can't watch it. It would be fun to like, even if they uncensored it, and you just got to see what could have been because it's now, and what he was saying is fairly tame.
Now,
Um,
yeah. But
yeah.
thinking about it though, man, he did this in 94 on NBC. Like,
Let me get some else off my chest real quick.
dude, and not only SNL banned him, the network banned him for life.
At least he didn't get to the part where he's like, "See this? That's you." Like, no, he didn't get there, but yeah. Is he? Do you think it's still there, Steve? Do you think NBC still has a lifetime ban on Martin? Because I feel like, come on.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen him in a you ever seen him do a cameo on any NBC network or show?
Not watching a lot of must see TV anymore, Steve, but I don't think he has. I think maybe you're right. Maybe it's a full on lifetime ban. Him, Sinead O'Connor, maybe Dice Clay. Maybe I'm misremembering that. I don't know.
Maybe Seagal. Rage Against the Machine, but
That's funny.
you out of the several cameos on Fresh Prince, you'd think he would be one of them. I mean, this happened before Fresh Prince was off air, so there could have been a possibility.
I mean, when did Bad Boys come out?
95,
So it was like right after Fresh Prince ended, right? Because
right
that's when
before,
right
right before.
that's when they were trying to skew Will Smith like older. You know, he wasn't just the Fresh Prince anymore. So, man, it is kind of funny to think that we might have been able to get that crossover, and also of the because they were both such popular shows, the ratings of that would be insane. Martin
I
and
mean,
Fresh Prince collaborating on a show. Like it'd be cool if they crossed over into both. Like Will Smith showed up in Detroit for some reason. I don't know.
well, he made a cameo on Martin when they had the birthday episode. They're celebrating Martin's birthday, and they have all these different celebrities like wishing him a happy birthday on tape.
Oh yeah,
It'll
yeah,
be
yeah. Okay,
live.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, man, legendary. Like if you could get banned, I feel like that elevated your status even more. Even Steven Seagal, like he was already a piece of crap. He's still a piece of crap, but it elevated him higher. The heap of crap piled a little bit more,
What are you
if
trying
that
to say,
makes sense.
Steve? Trying to say, brother? Seagal. Honestly, though, I would say one thing about the Seagal episode. I don't know that did he get banned for it sucking in his bad performance, or was he banned because it was such like an inflammatory episode? Because there's a difference between you just not being good, which I think is kind of the thing about his episode, was that he just wasn't going to play ball. He wasn't going to act. He was going to just like do what he wanted to do. But it wasn't like he went on and did like a Martin thing where he's like, y'all ladies need to. He didn't
No,
pull that.
he was just
Uh,
a dick. That's all
yeah,
it was. No,
I don't really feel like that's a great like legacy to have. Whereas Martin's, it's just like this guy's just a straight outlaw that just did not give two F's, and was also that he had enough clout where it's like, what this is only going to help me, especially during that time where you're like, you know, you're coming off Def Jam. That's like an outrageous show where like anything goes. So being outlawed on like Square NBC television, that's got to make the fans of Def Jam just that more ravenous. And you've got your own show. It's like, what are you going to cancel Martin? You
good luck with that.
know? Yeah.
Well, we'll never cancel you, Martin. Oh.
I have
This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your GoldenEye games and your Gold Dust So get out your GoldenEye games and your Gold Dust posters, because damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster ass ninja knows the play. Real gangster ass ninjas get the fly, so the bitches ass gangster ass ninjas get the J.
mother shit. I liked it, Steve. You know, you got to mix it up a little bit. We can't get caught with the copyright infringement. You got to change it up.
Yeah. Well, today, my friend, we're talking all things February 19th in the 90s. Yeah, that'd be incredible. Starting off in 1991, young black teenagers released their self-titled album. And yeah. What did you expect, Matt?
Just some young black teenagers, Steve.
As
I gotta
advertised,
say,
right?
the first two songs I enjoyed, and then I kind of got sick of it. But there's some good samples. The beats are good.
You know, I was ready to crap all over this. But listen to it, man. It's actually not bad, especially for this time. The dudes remind me of Beastie Boys a little bit. The production's great. It was done by Hank Shockley, the leader of the Bomb Squad, famously known for working with Public Enemy. It's their in-house production team. And I think Hank Shockley was responsible for getting these guys signed, if not signed to his label.
I mean, it's early '90s rap, and this kind of rap we've talked about, where it just falls into this category. I don't know, like there's some that's better than others. There's a couple of good songs on this, but I was like you. I when I saw this on the list, I was like, I mean, I'll put it on when I'm working out. I'm probably gonna like I don't want to shit on it, but I'm not gonna have a lot of good stuff to say, and I'm just kind of mid on it, Steve. Like I said, the first song really dug that, and I what is the name of it? Because it's got a cool name, but can't think of it. Punks, Lies, and Videotape, Steve.
It's the
Enjoyed
first
that.
one.
Yeah. And there's a couple other good, like I said, beats on this, but there's not a lot of things I'm going to throw into heavy rotation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you are aware of the fact that none of them are young, black, or teenagers.
You know, I thought I saw maybe a couple people of mixed race on here, but I'm just here to listen to some music, Steve. I didn't do a lot of research into these gentlemen. I saw one of their last names was Weiner, so I kind of assumed like, there might have been a couple of people of a different racial ethnicity, but
Yeah,
I
from
like how the
Atlanta,
one guy's
Caucasian.
name's first his nickname's Firstborn, Steve. That's Adam Weiner, which sounds like a bratty kid you'd hang out with that doesn't share video games.
Oh yeah, we knew a couple whiners in Perrysburg, and I only really remember them for the MTV cards back in the day. Remember when everything had a trading card? Yo
Hell yeah.
MTV, yeah, Yo MTV Raps had their own trading cards, and I remember getting a Young Black Teenagers card. I don't know where it is now or any of my Yo MTV Rap cards.
I only had like I always got Big Daddy Kane and like people like that whenever it's like I mean it's cool, but as a youngster I was like, some other shit.
Man, the one without his shirt is a collector's item.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? There's probably somewhere if they're in mid condition, somebody will pay you money. I mean, it's all subjective, but yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, shout out Young Black Teenagers. But in 1993, Army of Darkness premieres. When Ash Williams is accidentally transported to 1300 AD, he must retrieve the Necronomicon and battle an army of the dead in order to return home. Directed by Sam Raimi, starring Bruce Campbell, Mbeth Davids, and Bridget Fonda.
I dug this movie. This is my favorite of this franchise. I think I think Ash as a whole is an underutilized character, and especially in a day where people want to remake everything and bring back things. I think they made a show with him, but
Yeah, they made yeah.
I don't know if you remember a video game called Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
I feel like the energy of that video game was just this movie. Just a guy with some amazing one-liners, awesome action. Sam Raimi can film the hell out of a movie. And also just because Bruce Campbell, I guess, it's him, it's his personality. It's funny. It's a fun movie. I feel like it's a comedy in some ways.
I feel like Bruce Campbell has the face of a comic book character. He's got like the booty chin, he's got the high cheekbones, he's got like the polygonal PlayStation 1 graphics face that I mean you could see his face in a comic book or a cartoon. He has like a I don't know, tick. I don't or one of those kind of cartoons you could see him in. Kind of like what's the
Dudley
guy?
Do Remember Dudley Do Right?
Dudley Do
Yeah,
Right. Something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah.
More so than Brendan Fraser.
I mean, he just looks like he is like kind of like an all American looking dude, and I think he even played a Flash in a TV show. I might be mistaken on that, but
He should.
he was born to be like a star. He kind of never became the star that I would, like a Harrison Ford. I feel like he could have been like, but Bruce Campbell's a G, dude. He kills this. This movie is his, and like he even fights himself. Um, you know, and
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love the story. I love like the stupid like uh mythology that they have in it, and how they kind of we get even like knights and stuff in this movie too. It's crazy, man.
Bruce Campbell, it seems like he's a god within this world. Like whenever I hear him mentioned or written about, it's in awe. Everybody's just, oh my god! I don't know what to compare it to. It might be the Beehive kind of deal when it comes to like these kind of movies.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Bruce Campbell, oh my god! I want to sit on his lap and fucking feel his chin.
He's got personality, man. I mean, he's got it all. He's the total package. And in this one, like, especially, I mean, the other ones were cool and had their place. I mean, honestly, Evil Dead 1 and 2 are basically the same exact movie with like one has more of a budget. But this movie, it went so far above the other two. And Ash just has like, this is a very quotable movie too. So I think for like horror movie fans and just like whatever you want to call this, like action movie fans, it's one of those it's almost like Boogie Nights for us, where you can just like keep quoting this movie. There's just so many funny, awesome lines in it. And when you have a director like Sam Raimi, who has a very like cool style that is very much on display in this movie too, I mean, it all adds up. I just remember being blown away by this movie when I was younger, just because it is kind of surprising. You think it's gonna just kind of be cheesy, but then you just like by the end of it, you're like, damn, this is good. I'm into this.
I feel like this was in your collection, right?
This is my boomstick. Yeah, this one, and I had Evil Dead 1, I think, but this is for sure for me. If you're like Evil Dead, I know they've made new ones. This is it, man.
And on that same day in 93, The Crying Game premieres. A British soldier kidnapped by the IRA soon befriends one of his captors, who then becomes drawn into the soldier's world. Directed by Neil Jordan, starring Stephen Rhea. Is it Rhea or Rhea?
I think it's but I'm not sure, Steve. Don't quote me on that.
Stephen Rhea, Miranda Richardson, Jay Davidson, and Forrest Whitaker.
Did you watch this, Steve?
For the first time, I did, yes, and I was expecting like what is the hype? It's that scene. Is that all it is? It's you see the spladoinkle right there.
I mean, here's my thing. That's what it was for us. Like growing up, I never watched this, so it was just a joke in movies. Like Ace Ventura kind of made fun of it. It was always like that punchline of a joke, like, "Oh, you're like the Crying Game." So I was going in with that. I knew there was a dick coming at some point, like an unexpected D.
A dick coming, he said.
But pause all the way back, rewind. But I will say this, man, without making any jokes, I'll give this movie credit for the fact that, there's movies like Dusk Till Dawn that are two separate movies or have different like whatever tones, and it's always like a hard, like a door slamming, and then you're in the second part of the movie. Whereas this, you start watching this, and it's like, oh, this is a movie about IRA people and that they kidnapped Forrest Whitaker, and then all of a sudden it turns into this other movie about this guy going to like befriend this person that this whole thing, and then there's this romance with like the transgender shit. And is it like my favorite movie? Absolutely not. But I do feel like technically this is a well-written movie, but it's just like one of those where, I mean, now this is fairly tame. Like I feel like there's probably a bunch of movies like this now. Back then, it's crazy. And like the guy or the individual that's playing the transgender person, like they just pulled that. They didn't have any acting experience. You know what I mean? So with that being said, though, I did feel like a lot of the acting that they did, the transgender person, was like those ladies in Absolutely Fabulous, that show that was on Comedy Central.
Yeah, that guy's actually from America, so he did pull off the British accent fairly well. Or was it supposed to be Irish? Either way, he didn't sound American. and this is one of the top 25 grossing movies from Britain.
I feel like that's crazy, but
Super insane.
I mean, it was a huge thing, man. And honestly, when I was like, because I was hesitant to watch it, so at first I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch some Roger Ebert and like Siskel and Ebert reviews and see like what they thought." I mean, those guys were blown away by it.
Yeah.
You know, they had a lot to say about it, and I agree. I just feel like if you got to get past the subject matter, but I do feel like I said, like it's crazy to see a movie that you get so many different like types of movie kind of seamlessly weaved into one movie. It doesn't feel like that long, but yeah. I mean, I feel like 90s punchline now this is like fairly just like blase material. It's not like groundbreaking anymore, you know?
You sure about that? Because they show dong. They still don't really show dong in movies like that. They showed a whole wee wee.
I don't know.
Like pubic
I've been
hairs.
going to theater movies quite a bit recently. I've seen a lot of dong in movies. I'm just seeing a
Really?
lot. Yeah, it's
That's-
as a man who doesn't, I can see a dong, but I come from the '90s, like Wild Thing-esque times where it was just like fat titties and some flat asses.
yeah.
A lot of dongs out here. I'm here to tell you, Steve. A lot of dongs.
Oh,
A lot
that's
of
the new
dongs.
thing. That's what we're doing. But that following year, 1994, Saturday Night Live is airing season 19, episode 14, with musical guest Crash Test Dummies and your host, Martin Lawrence.
Once there was this guy who had his own sitcom and then came on SNL. That's
There
it,
you
Steve.
go.
I'm pretty good at that. Crash Test Dummies, I can definitely kill at a karaoke. But this doesn't start with Martin or Crash Test Dummies. This starts with Rob Schneider, Steve. Rob Schneider, who I hate now, but I love seeing him as Jeff Galooly, Steve. And we get a message from Jeff Galooly in the beginning of this.
And I think it's about health insurance.
Well, there's a new Clinton healthcare plan, Steve, because there's always this, this happens all the time. So Jeff, he's got a lot of unanswered questions about this Clinton healthcare plan, and he's bringing it up. It's like all employees are getting health insurance. What about temps? What if I don't own my own collapsible baton? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. I know you have plans for married couples, but what about the couples that get divorced and then they get back together? Then they get divorced again, they get separated. And what about people who can't grow mustaches?
What about somebody who's about to go to prison? What about that?
Well,
But
Bill, yeah.
Sorry, Steve, go for it.
Oh, but Bill, you get my support. I can deliver Sean Eckert and Sean Stant, but if I go back on my word, Sean Eckert will have me killed.
All it's going to take is a full presidential pardon, Steve. And you get Jeff Galooly's seal of approval. Oh, live from New York. It's Saturday night. Not a lot of laughs in that opening, Steve. I don't know if people were into the Galool.
Yeah, it's could have done without it. They actually had a different opening plan, man, and it was going to have Martin in it. They were going to like hoist up Rob Schneider, like him and his crew were going to. And I think Rob Schneider's supposed to stop him, like, oh, you can't go in this area. And they were like, man, I wish I would have had that. Wish we had that one, but
yeah, hell yeah, a little extra Martin on the, especially the beginning, man. I feel like seeing him go live from New York at Saturday night would have just been like ultimate chef's kiss.
Yeah, shame on you, Lauren. But man, here we are, man. The monologue of infamy, a moment in history. This monologue, man, Marty Marr, he's here.
The censors all over him, Steve. I can't say anything. How can he talk to the world when he's just like smothered by these censors? And first, before we get to the real infamous stuff, he's got a concern that he's really deeply concerned about. And it's concerning Lorena Bobbitt and specifically just women in general, just cutting the pilly packers off, Steve. They're cutting the pilly packers off. All right,
It's
can't
like
have
they
it.
had a license to do it in the 90s. And this is the year they smashing knees and cutting off pilly packers. The white women must be mad, he said. And I guess he's like, he can't do this.
He can't. He can't do this, Steve.
Yeah,
He
he
can't
can't
do
do
this.
it. Right? Yeah.
And then a black dude had to find the pilly packer, Steve. He picked it up. He driving like this with the damn shit in his hand. I love that. He got the little pilly packer in his hand. He's like swerving all over the place. Throws it on the snow, throws it on some ice because he's trying to think what white people do, Steve, and he's right. Throw that on some ice.
Throw it on the snow cone. But something else that bothers him, and I gotta say something. Some of you are not washing your ass properly. Oh man.
Dude, I have to read the thing they put on screen. It's just so funny because he's like, some of y'all ladies need to wash it, and then it just cuts, and it's like, at this point in the monologue, Martin begins a commentary on what he believes to be the decline of feminine hygiene standards. Although we at SNL take no stand on the issue one way or the other, network policy prevents us from rebroadcasting this portion of his remarks. In summary, Martin feels, or felt at the time, that the failure of many young women to bathe thoroughly is a serious problem that demands our attention. He explores this problem, citing numerous examples from his personal experience, and ends up proposing several imaginative solutions. It was a frank and lively presentation and nearly cost all of us our jobs. Now, back to the monologue. I mean, that in and of itself is hilarious. That's great comedy, Steve.
Thank you, Jim Downey. I mean, the whole version is actually available on YouTube without the video.
Really?
Yeah, you can hear the audio version. And I think years ago I've posted it on our social media, but right after that, all we get is, stick around. We got crash test dummies. You got me in the house. And he takes his shirt off and he starts doing his Marty Mark kung fu. Yeah, I love it, man.
You get it all, Steve. You gotta check it off. We even get a shirtless Martin do it just gyrating and going crazy. That's amazing.
The Pilly Packers.
Damn, that's a Billy Packer.
I wonder if the NBC reps came to him and said, "Hey, as long as you can find an alternative for penis or dick," he was like, "No, I got you. I don't think SNL told him Pilly Packer. That sounds like a Martin. Yeah,
I feel like that might not. I mean, that sounds like something he would say in his stand-up.
exactly.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a censor. It just sounds like a funny thing to say. I mean, the guy's a comedian, so
The Pilly Packer. Now we got daily affirmations with Stuart Smiley. And, at first, Martin, he's pretty pissed off. He's on 10, Matt. He's on 10.
he's grilling, Steve. He is not happy to be there. But Stewart's good enough. He's smart enough. And gosh darn it, people love me. And I'm here with Martin L. He's an African American comedian. He asked me to say that. Martin. And it just, I feel like Stewart's it's a little insensitive, Steve. And Martin's really taking him to task on these racial things he's saying that, and I get it. But Martin's getting he's getting heated. He's just telling him straight up, shut up. Shut up.
I'm not more black than you are white. So what you want to say? Well, I'm actually flesh. What you saying? This ain't flesh, brother. Can't be flesh.
Man, I still ain't got my 40 acres in a mule. Is that something that our producers promised you? Because sometimes they overpromise.
Trace it, face it, and erase it. Don't patronize me, man.
Martin, just please sit in your anger. Feel it. Just feel it. And Martin feels it, Steve. He feels it a lot.
Sometimes I feel like I want to whoop. But you feel like a hug? But please. I'm not with that. I'm not hugging no homo.
Eh, excuse me? Where are you? Where's that even coming from?
A homo. Fairy queen. A beep pirate.
That's it. I'm not having it. You shut up. I love them getting in each other's face is great, dude. God bless. What's his name? Al
Stewart.
Franken.
Al
Yeah.
Franken.
Hell
I
yeah.
was a lonely child with no purpose. I felt neglected. And who did you want to hug you? Was it your dad? My
Oh,
dad, my father, man. Well, my dad was a slave too, and his master was the bottle.
man, your dad was on the bottle too, man. Oh, Smurl.
No,
God,
Smurl,
Smurls.
I know how you feel, Smurl. Will you give me a hug?
What a great episode. This is one of the best. I feel like there's a couple with athletes too. I think Shaq did one, or no, it was Charles
MJ,
Barkley.
Charles Barkley, and MJ.
Yeah, yeah. But this is great, man. This is hilarious.
And up next, we have Thugs, Muggers, Phil Hartman, and Martin. They have commentary during a night of work.
Yeah, because basically we just doing some surveillance in the area. You know, basically just trying to see who we gonna rob.
Go. Worst victims are the strong people with no money.
Phil Hartman's his second in command. He's got the Phil Hartman voice. I love this guy. But I like the scam, Steve. It's not even really a scam. You just stop when you see a mark. You go, "Excuse me, do you got the time?" Whack.
And I love this. We both love this. They roll up on Rob Schneider first, and they get him for his shit, stick him
Yeah.
for his sneakers, everything.
Like, get off me, man. So in between robberies, we go back in the car. And Martin explains that, I was attracted to robbery because it just gave me more sense of self-esteem. You feel me? Plus, I just like walking up to people and going, "Excuse me," and popping them in the face.
You got the time? Then they pull up on Norm, and they chase him down. They get him down, and they punch him. $40.
But they know better, Steve, because Norm's a runner. He's what's known on the streets as a runner. So they have him take his shoe off because he's got some extra. But that's about an extra $200 they found, Steve. These are some bets. They get it.
Yeah, here's what you call a runner. They look us in the eyes and they run. Then they cut 45 minutes later and they're like, we got arrested, arraigned, and we posted bail. Yeah, we lost the eye. And I stole this police hat.
But I got a cool police hat. I do also like that when they rob Norm though, because they have to hold that. They got to give you a lesson too. And he's like, these people will look you in the face and they will lie to you. They will lie.
Real stories of the highway patrol.
But the third victim, it's just some guy that they just bust. That's not even a cast member. They rob him, and they get back in the car. Like, what's crazy, man? That guy that we just did that to, tomorrow he's just gonna be out on the street, new wallet full of new money, and that's the last lesson. But before it cuts, you hear Phil Hartman go, "Let's get a whore," and that's it.
And then we got the weekend update, and it's got some decent ones on there, man. Kevin Nealon, of course, he's still the news anchor. And we started off talking about Tanya Harding, blah, 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 Nancy Kerrigan, blah, 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 which it's funny because Nancy Kerrigan ends up being a host the following year.
That's great. Oh my, that's fantastic. I didn't know they did that after she was in all this stuff. But I feel like, and as usual with Weekend Update, Norm steals the show, Steve.
He's here for that, man. He's here to talk about MJ, and he's sick and tired of people dragging MJ's name. Of course, he's not perfect. Nobody is. He might be guilty of stringing little boys along. I'll give you that, but he's no plagiarist.
Sure, he's guilty of methodically seducing young boys. But plagiarism, it's just not in his character. Sure, he's raping butts kids in the butt. Not a plagiarist.
And plus, the person who said that he plagiarized is a 40-year-old woman. When would he ever come in contact with a 40-year-old woman? He's a child molester.
Am I wrong?
Yes, you are, Norm. I feel bad. I get it. We got to reenact this stuff, but damn it.
He said it, Steve, not us.
He said it.
Hollywood Minute. Also, we get that. David Spade. I feel like this had some of the ones that I remember most, maybe just because I love this episode a lot, but his joke about the Pelican Brief is great, where he's like, I finally got around to seeing the Pelican Brief, and about 2.5 hours in, I was thinking the word brief should be nowhere near this title of this movie. And My Father the Hero, Gerard Depardieu, please.
Yeah. They even have a hammer slant. Like we referenced that last week, man, where it's around this time, man, he started being the punchline of jokes where, he's like, Hammer's got edge now. But what we need you to do is get back into the puffy pants and just walk away.
Walk away in those puffy pants. And then he just calls Ann Wilson of the band Heart fat. He's like, Ann Wilson, are those her ribs that they put on the Flintstones car in the beginning of the show? That's it. There's no joke other than that. That's crazy.
When he talked about Hocus Pocus, he said something about his nephew waking up from a dream, or he watched it. He was like, how did they get financing? I did like the part where I think it was Kevin Nealon talking about Roseanne, saying that she has multiple personalities and they're all good eaters.
Yeah, just rampant fat humor. Yeah, I'm here for it. Shit.
Same. But
oh man, it was a good episode, and I do think the reason all this is so memorable to me is because I watched this so much. Like I just tried to find it all the time.
Ironically, they would still re-air this on Comedy Central, even though it's kind of messy. It's got some slime on it, but obviously they would run the condensed, censored version. But my favorite skit might be this next one, the Scared Straight. Matt Foley and fellow prisoner Deshaun scared juvenile delinquent straight. Oh man.
Yeah, I like when they started putting Matt Foley in like these odder situations. Like this isn't just like a family intervention speech. He's in jail. It goes deeper now.
But you gotta have Phil Hartman in these Matt Foley skits. In some
the one with Christina Applegate has got to be my favorite one. Is that Billy Shakespeare over there? Rolling doobies. But this one's right up there.
And Phil Hartman, he's like a lieutenant. He introduces Martin, who plays Deshaun in the skit. And he comes in like, thank you, Sherman Hemsley. We always in here looking for some new bitches.
And then he has this whole like speech about a bitch on Ho Road, and then the young ragamuffin people who were played by Jay Moore. Who
Adam
else is
Sandler.
in there? Adam Sandler. I think Rob Schneider's one of them.
Tim Meadows.
Yeah, David Spade's one too. But they start picking holes in his BIH thing, and I think Jay Moore's like, yeah, I have a question about the bitch market down on Ho Road. How much would I go for? Oh, a little scrumptious little BIH like you? You're going for about 3 packs of cigarettes.
David Spade chimes in, if I was your bitch, could I buy myself with a pack of cigarettes?
Shut up,
bitch. Looking like Popeye over there.
You gonna touch that Popeye? But then Deshaun, he's got a little friend that he's got to introduce the group to, the little OG, the cell block 3, one Matt Foley that we all know and love, Steve. And he is 35 years old, thrice divorced, and I wish to God that I was living in a van down by the river.
Eating nothing but coffee beans. They all your bitches now, Matt. Now, as Deshaun told you, currently serving 3 to 5 years for non-payment of alimony. Oh man,
Sold 7 bitches to the homie in the cornrow.
yeah.
Deshaun, looks like we got a BIA. I just love how he says BIA.
How you like that, hoes? You ain't.
I also, I was referencing just like some like sources on this, and I guess Jay Moore wrote about this sketch a lot and was just talking about the behind the scenes. Like, you know how Matt Foley's all wet in this?
Yeah.
Like, he just did that. He like a lot of this, you realize like when you hear about SNL, a lot of times these guys are just messing with each other to like get each other to break. So he did that. There was another, like at the end, I guess they all like dog piled on Chris Farley so they couldn't continue the sketch. But he was all like, he was so powerful, Steve, that he pushed everybody off of him and finished the sketch.
That was apparently his thing. He was notorious for like intentionally making the castmates break.
It's almost like a cool added layer that when you are a fan of the show, and obviously you see people break and stuff, but it's just fun to know, like within the elements of that show, that they're just sitting there like kind of having fun with each other. Like, man, I bet I could just get him to crack up real quick, just fuck this sketch up.
Yeah. I like how Rob Schneider is devil's advocate. He's like, well, you guys share a cell, right? Well, which one of you is the biatch?
Hey, me. Man, I was here first. You know you my bitch. Well, looks like we got ourselves a oh man. Just like also Phil Hartman's just standing in the background of this whole skit. You just have him there just to introduce Matt Foley and just stand there, Steve. I would have liked a little more Phil, but
yeah.
But when they escape and they break that hole in the wall, Matt Foley's, he knows exactly where they need to go hide out, Steve. He's got the perfect spot.
In a van down by the river. And this one to me, it's still funny. It's shorter, but it's hilarious, man. Martin, he's sitting next to Tim Meadows. They play for the New Jersey Nets. And Martin, he's the 12th man. Well, no, Tim Meadows, he's the new 12th man that they got from the CBA. But Martin, he's the new 13th man. And he's telling Tim Meadows, hey, man, we're never going to get in, so don't even worry about it. This is my bench. You know, you need to learn how to move so I can see the court. If I can't see, I say move back. You got to move back.
Matter of fact, hold on one second. Let me get you want a sandwich, and he's even got a picnic basket. He's got it all.
He breaks out an ice pack, and Tim Meadows was like, man, I think that's for the athletes if they get injured. No, man, don't even worry about that.
Yo, you see that, man? That's Derek Coleman up there, man. That guy's a beast.
Yo,
and then Tim's like, yeah, man, what you doing, man? You don't know your voice.
Yeah.
Messing him up.
I do that. We never get in, so get used to it. And right after that, Tim Meadows gets called in.
Yeah, and the guy that comes out just sits next to Martin. He's like, yo, man, great job, man. And the guy's like, wait, do I know you? Nobody even knows him on the team.
And that guy would end up being a pretty successful actor. I don't know if you've seen him before, but he had a recurring role on some cop show. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But do you also see Dave Attell in the background?
No, I didn't see that. I can't believe it. He really is in the background.
He's sitting right behind Martin. This is around the time he was the writer or one of the writers.
Hell yeah. Damn, Dave Attell on us. And honestly, I might not have even known that, Steve.
Yeah.
I think you just blew my mind. But I like it. I like that Martin's so used to not playing. He's got a TV, Steve. He's got his own little personal TV to hang out with, and he's watching Martin on it, which I support.
Yeah. Ready to watch the Martin show. And then the coach is like, come in, you got to go in the game. Like, man, I don't want to go in.
Get in the game. Just don't touch the ball.
Then he comes right back on the bench, man. But Bike Messenger, I didn't expect this to be as funny. It's funnier than what I remembered, man. It's Mike Myers, and he's a bike messenger. Just, what is that? Are they basically paper boys?
Think of like Uber Eats, but on a bike, Steve. It's all that. They deliver documents, they deliver food, they deliver mail, packages, the whole shebang. And Mike Myers is the bike messenger, Steve. He's the bike messenger. Everyone knows him.
I love you, Bike Messenger.
I cannot dally, for I am the bike messenger. He's very, he's got a lot of aplomb for a bike messenger. This isn't Puck,
Yeah. He takes a lot of pride in this. I must fly on like the wind. Onward I fly. Newspaper here. Would you like one? Just kidding. For my speed is too great.
I like Jay Moore just had to do about 100 push-ups before this because he takes his opportunity to rip his shirt off because he goes off on the bike messenger.
Let's go.
But throughout this, different people are like, bike messenger, I love you. And he'll say something. But I love Norm again saving another sketch where he's like, hey, this doesn't make any sense. Like, shouldn't you be way further down the road? Like, why can I hear you? Like, he's just poking holes in the sketch the whole time.
Isn't he like out of earshot? And then Bike Messenger responds, he's like, see, yeah, like just right there. How'd you hear me? Oh, I get it. I'm jogging. That's it. I'm jogging. And he's like fake slow jogging.
Bike messenger, are you married? Yes, to the sea. Well, not the sea, but the street. And my wife is the bike. He's like Frasier as a bike messenger, honestly, Steve.
And Adam Sandler's like, hey, Bike Messenger, when you say fly, do you mean to say pedal, but you're like a moron or something?
Oh, I love you. I would love to hang out with you. And by hang out with you, I mean put a bullet in your head. Hey, bike messenger, go, bike messenger, go. You're going so fast. Your bike is so cool.
He will have many beatings in high school.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, but this is way funnier than it should be, Steve. It's just freaking Mike Myers on a stationary bike in front of a green screen, but it's amazing.
Can't forget the Martin part. They quickly cut to him. He's like, hey, Bike Messenger, what's up, you beep, beep.
I will not. And Mike Myers had the same kind of a reaction he had when he was on the screen with Kanye, Steve. He would just go, I think not.
Yeah. Man. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the full episode, man. And I feel like it's got to be out there. We're just not hitting the right sites.
I wanted to see the Ricky Lake with Joe Jackson and Ike Turner on it. I wanted to see that. I don't know that I ever have, just because we've been watching censored episodes. But man, you know what was crazy to me also about this? Like just seeing like reviews of it, doing research for the show. A lot of people don't like this episode. They think it's a bad episode. I'm like, I don't get you. I don't understand if you have a soul. I love it.
It's a bias, I feel, man. I mean, clearly we're both in the same boat, but people were blindly drinking the Kool-Aid. There's a site that I go to whenever we cover these SNLs, and just to see their take. They give their review on each skit, and the person downed this episode. They said that it was not as good as the previous episode, which was Alec Baldwin and his wife at the time, who's the hot chick. They were co-hosts to SNL, but I saw that one too, and this is one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Me
So
too. I feel I'm the same way. I mean, it's just got an allure to it, and it also has like a funny backstory. The whole thing at the with the monologue, and it's Martin, so
it's Martin.
automatically it's getting pushed to the tops. And I think it's so cool that this guy that's definitely not NBC. He was so big they had to do it, Steve. They just had to. They said fuck it. They gave it a chance, and he killed it. And apparently, it was so good that they couldn't let him ever back on the network. So
Uh, the best episodes for the most part are from stand-up comedians because they get it. It's either stand-up comedians or comedic actors.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's like those people like Christopher Walken and Alec Baldwin too that were those guys that did it. John Goodman as well that did it so
Mhm.
much that they became like an ancillary cast member when they came on. Like they had installed skits that they could come back to. They didn't look nervous like a lot of people do. I think some athletes kind of, especially you see them come on there and they're just kind of like monotonely reading cue cards.
Yeah.
And I mean, Martin was definitely not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. Always a legend. And I don't care what the reviews say. It's my favorite.
In 1995, WCW is airing Super Brawl 5, and this is actually a good year. They were on an upswing in 95. They were not making money, they were in the red ever since Ted Turner bought the company, I believe in 88. They never had a successful grossing year up until 95. So there's going to be a turn of the tides here shortly. We don't get to the NWO storyline until 96, but things are brewing over there in Atlanta, down here in Atlanta. But this pay-per-view ain't it, man. The one thing, it starts off with Vader doing some really cool stuff. Like he comes out of a limo pissed off, and then another limo pulls up next to his, and he's looking for Hogan because this is the main event, Vader and Hogan. He's punking the limo driver, man. Where's he at? Is he in here? And then he goes to the back. He breaks the door handle off, and then he just punches through the limo window, man. I was like, Vader,
Damn, Vader. All right.
he wants to get his hands on Hogan. And he was so pissed. He after doing that, he just walks into somebody else's match and just starts power bombing motherfuckers. Like that whole run, that was better than the actual pay-per-view because in the pay-per-view, we get Bunkhouse Bunk with Ming as his and Kuna Masapaka. They're like his proteges
I'll say. I bought a human being, y'all.
going up against Jim Duggan.
I
And the
mean,
match was like 12 minutes, man.
what?
12 minutes.
I mean, I got the match list in front of me, Steve, and after that, I do like to see that Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright, was at the beginning. I don't know if the match was good, but just shout out to him real quick.
It wasn't.
But the third match is Kevin Sullivan versus Dave Sullivan, which I'm not here for. It's probably a very ugly match.
Yeah, that's what we didn't ask for. Dave Sullivan, man. Like, so
Was it just is he Kevin Sullivan's brother, obviously, or their relations, or what?
they're kayfabe brothers, but the storyline as to why they were even in a match is dumb as hell. So Kevin Sullivan, it was like a sworn enemy of Hulk Hogan at the time, and his kayfabe brother, like Kevin, notices that Dave is like in cahoots with Hogan. He's like okay, he's like cool with Hogan. He's basically not in cahoots, but he's cool with Hogan, and Kevin doesn't like that. So that's what sparked it off, man. You're not supposed to talk to Hogan. You're my brother, blah, 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 blah. So that happened, man. I do like seeing Sensational Sherry in her Harlem Heat get up, though. This is
Ooh.
the probably one of the most sexiest get ups I've ever seen her. That woman's always been gorgeous to me ever since I was a kid. But yeah, man, she's doing her thing. Unfortunately, Harlem Heat lost to the Nasty Boys, and I just never
What?
got that. I
I
never
don't
no,
like.
they had no, I take that back. They won. My bad. They beat Nasty Boys.
I
I
was
actually
gonna say,
watched this.
God, but the Nasty Boys, Steve. I've just never been a fan. Them and the Bushwhackers. I know they're like Hall of Fame tag teams, but I'm not here for it. and I feel like they smell, and that was part of their gimmick. So, shame on
Well,
them.
this pay-per-view smelled, but in 1997, the Wayans brothers is airing season 3, episode 18, I Do. The neighborhood bully, played by Bernie Mac, forces Marlon to marry his sister. Hilarity ensues.
Uh, I love this also at the beginning of the episode. Shout out to pool halls, which used to be like a hang in 90s TV. Do they even exist anymore? Is a pool hall a thing, Steve?
Totally. There's a couple down here in my area.
Okay. You out here shooting some pool, Minnesota Fat style? Are you down there?
I'm going there for the wings. This place by my crib, they have some great wings. I get those and a beer, a brewski, and I'm
Okay.
overdue for a trip there. Haven't played pool there once.
Okay. Well, I mean, the wings must be good then.
The
If it's a
hidden.
pool hall. Okay. All right. Heard. Um, but Marlon's there. He's hanging out with his buddy. Sean's there. And quick shout out to Steele from Juice. Forget the guy's
Thank
name, but
you.
the homeboy was there. Love seeing
Yeah.
him work. I love that. Dude, that guy just seems cool. That was
He's close.
basically me as a black dude back in the
Yeah, he's
90s.
close green. So yeah, of course he's got to be. He's got a Tupac story.
Damn, dude. But yeah, shout out to Steele. He's there. They're playing some pool. And Marlon's got a little tenderoni, Steve. He's got a little new some out there.
Fine. Yeah,
Is that her name? Charmaine?
Charmaine.
Charmaine. It even sounds beautiful. It's
You can't be
delicious.
an ugly Charmaine. You're gonna have to go to the Social Security office and make that switch or something.
Yeah, it's very close to the toilet paper brand Charmin as well. So I feel like if you're not just a beautiful woman, like you're really somebody's gonna drag that into it at some point.
Yeah, Charmaine. I gotta want you to. I gotta want to have your butt wipe me
Definitely. I'll wipe it with my tongue.
with my tongue. Yeah,
Yeah. But could this be the next or the future Miss Williams, Steve?
possibly. Marlon
Marlon
ain't thinking
says,
about marriage.
I don't know. He says only if she marries Billy D, which she would. If she was given the choice, I feel like she'd pick that. I get it.
Even the boys, they're betting it won't even last more than a week.
Damn, Sean. I mean, he's the bro, so you get it. You got to throw a little shade at your brother, but I got to give it to Marlon. He's doing well. He's playing some pool and he's hustling some puss in that pool hall, and I love it all, Steve. So
When
let me
yeah,
get this theme song. We're
classic.
brothers. This has to be one of the most. I mean, it's the most like memorable for obvious. Just the hard, just tonal change. A lot of tonal change discussions today, Steve. Either with the Wayne's Brothers theme song or the Crying Game. Either or.
Crying over you. But coming back from that classic theme song, we get a familiar face in Bernie. Bernie
Oh,
Mac, the man.
I'm scared of you.
He walks
Um, he's a local bad dude, though, Steve.
a
It's not
bully.
Bernie. His name ain't Bernie. It's Shank, which I mean, damn.
Shank.
Say less. But one of Sean's dudes, I think his name's TC, knows Shank from way back in the day, and he's like, "Man, I think he might know me."
I gave him the matches when he burnt up the school. Man, let me give him some dab right quick, man. I bet he remembered me.
Shank, why
Shank.
didn't you call me, man?
What's up? Give me 5 on the black hand. And he just stares at him.
Shank, man, it's me, man. TC, don't you remember me, man? How could I forget that breath? And that hurts, Steve. That's not nice, Shank.
TC runs off, and Sean's like, man, we've been trying to get him to do that this whole time, man. Bernie just brushes him off.
I like him coming in with that swag, though, Steve. He's got his little posse of chicks too. They're looking a little thuggish, ruggish. And after Shank throws TC a heavy dose of shade, he instructs Sean and the rest of his friends. He's like, you guys realize you're playing on my favorite table, right? I'm not going to try to do a Bernie Mac impersonation this whole time, but he's like, yeah, man. So money up. And he bet Sean, he's like, I forget what the bet is, whatever the amount of money is, but he's like, I bet you I can hit every ball into a hole in one shot. Which, how are you gonna not take that bet, Steve? Even with a guy named Shank, that's a win.
Yeah, because Shank, he bets 100. And Sean was like, man, I bet 200. He counts the money out. So when Shank he hits the cue ball, it barely hits. It barely hits.
And Sean's like celebrating. He's like, I won that money. And Shank's like, yeah, man, I won that money. He basically pulls a Debo, Steve.
I don't see no balls. Ladies, you see any balls? Fatso, you see any balls? Man, I don't see nothing. You know, he called him grape ape.
I didn't want to say. But he picks up the cue ball, Steve, and Shanks he did that little like grip machine that everybody had in the 90s because he just cracks the thing. So that's pretty intimidating. Sean, like, yeah, you're right, man. Balls? What are you talking about? I don't got any balls. Really? Take my money.
He takes the money. He's like, come on, girls, let's go get a facial. Facial? Where's the brother that dog gonna get a facial? Looking like Nestle Snipes. Look like struck match. Oh, man. I would have punched him right in his face. Oh, man. Pictures.
And as Sean's saying that, Shank walks back in and double bitches Sean. I was like, hey, I just came back in to get that 20 I dropped. Pick that up for me. And Sean stops being a thug. He's like, oh, here you go, Mr. Shank, sir.
Now we're in the diner, and Sean runs up to Pops. He's like, man, Shank crushed one of my balls. We still talking about pool, right, son?
And then Marlon shows up with Charmaine, as always. And he introduces her to Pop. So now he's introducing this lovely lady to the family. That's got to mean something, Steve. That's a step above just a first date. And I like Pops just trying to get a little kiss.
Marlon, he doesn't look like a frog.
And then as that's happening, wouldn't you know it, Steve, in walks Shank. He shows up. Sean immediately kind of backs down. And also, I don't know. Maybe it hasn't happened. That hasn't happened yet. So Shank comes in, kind of saddles up to Marlon and is like, yo, man, you my wait, I fucked this up, Steve. Rewind. He walks in and we realize Shank isn't just a bully, Steve. He's the brother of Charmaine. Yeah. AKA Oliver, Steve.
What you doing slobbing on my girl? Well, this is my brother, Oliver. Told you in the street my name's Shank. And Sean's like, you mean to tell me Nat King Charcoal is related to Charmaine?
These guys got every dark skin joke that you can think of. So they're throwing it all down.
The Wayans have every kind of joke, period. So you dating my sister, huh? You damn Skippy Black in the Hat. Actually, she's treating me. I ain't got no money.
Well, and Shank's like, man, I like you, dude. You're funny. Here's 100 spot, which if you think about it, is Sean's money. And even Marlon's like, man, nobody ever gives me money like this in my family. Thanks, man. So he loves Shank, aka Oliver, aka Shank.
Oh, then they walk off, Marlon and Charmaine, and he pulls up on Sean like, oh, so you a little paper boy, huh? I bet man such as yourself, a best man such as yourself, could use some protection. Oh, you trying to muscle me? Nah, I just want 20% of the receipts. Oh, you a little feisty.
It'd be a shame if all this paper went up in flames. This guy's a mobster, Steve. Putting the muscle.
Scared of you. Oh, you a little feisty one, huh? Get him, girls. Come on, Ty Harden. I'll break both of your knees.
Oh! I love Pops coming out. You trying? Who's doing? What's going on? You set tripping? You
West
set tripping?
Side?
Yeah. But he gets handled too. These are lady guards, Steve. These are like the dude from Half Baked. This is Samson level
Yeah.
armor. You know, you got some titties, you got some muscle, and they've taken the Wayne's family down, Steve, either by manipulation or physical force. And I guess now Sean owes Shank 20% of the paper business. I mean, come on. How is he going to check these receipts? Really?
Because in the next scene, we see Pops has a shiner. He's talking about, man, if I was 20 years younger, you still get your ass whooped. Shank's like, thanks for the free lunch, Pops. No problem, Mr. Shank, sir.
Mr. Shank. And Sean's out 20% of his business. So this whole family, they've taken a huge financial hit. Then Dee, who's Craig's mom from Friday, Dee, she's like a security guard here. And she basically just shows up. She's been alerted to this Shank guy. So she's like, ain't nobody doing nothing here, muscling nothing. But then Shank steps up and he's like, damn, looking good, girl. You're so big, so beautiful. Damn.
Scrumptious.
Nice hair, tasty. What are you doing here? And then he basically just seduces this woman. Dee's ready to just drop trowel right here. And I honestly, this is a look that in a weird way I was always attracted to. These bodacious like parking attendant ladies that just they can't fit into the uniform, Steve. There's no way.
Yeah.
And I love
spray paint them on. So what you want to talk to me about, babe? Isn't nothing that important. Man. And then Marlon shows up. He's like, man, look, your friend Shank been trying to edge us out of the business. And Marlon's like, man, that's crazy. Let me holler at him right quick. Hey, Shank, my brother and my father said you trying to muscle them out of their business. Nah, I try to share some business ideas with them. But, I could get carried away sometimes. It might come across a little mean.
Pops them eyes out. So Shank's like, nah, man. And actually, you know what? I need to talk to you outside, Marlon. Let's go outside real quick. I need to just parlay with you in private. So he takes him out of the Pops restaurant. They're out in that lobby area. And he's like, you know what's funny, man? Charmaine came home so late. You guys said you were doing Monopoly or something. And I mean, what's the deal with that? Why'd you bring my sister home so late last night? And they get into this discussion, and for some reason, Marlon he's very comfortable with Shank. Because Shank's like, man, you could be honest with me, man. Do you do something other than play some Monopoly? And Marlon's like, yes.
I broke her off, son.
Yeah, I mean, damn.
Oh, you broke her off? Oh, I ain't mad at you. No, I ain't mad. Can I be mad at my future brother-in-law? I'm talking about you and my sister. Y'all get married.
What? This is bad. This is definitely a shotgun wedding, Steve. So, Marlon's like, what are you talking about, man? Marriage, what are you talking about? He's like, well, here's the deal. You're going to be husband of the year. You're going to be father of the year. You're going to be everything. You're going to be the best husband of all time. And if you don't, remember that cue ball? I'm going to pop your cue ball, basically, unless you get married and do it all. So now Marlon's into Shank's pocket as well, Steve. The whole Wayne's family at this point just being led around by Shank, Steve.
And Charmaine's not supposed to know. But what if I told you I'm not doing it? Well, I take you down and your cockeyed daddy. I'm talking to your fiance. So Charmaine comes in and Shank tells her, I'm talking to your fiance. He just asked for your hand in marriage.
Jesus, Shank. So now Charmaine's like, what? And Marlon's like, oh, man, I don't even got a ring. So Shank pushes him down. He's like, here, you can have one of mine. It's like, oh, thanks, Shank. Thanks a lot, bro. So he's now, I mean, he's committed. Steve Charmaine says yes. She thinks this is a legitimate proposal. I mean, it's Marlon, of course. So Charmaine's in. Marlon, not too happy about it.
And now we're at the chapel, and Sean Sean
Not
tells him he
yet.
looks like
Not yet.
oh, we're not.
Yeah, they came back because they had to shop for a polyester suit at the Polyester Palace, Steve.
That's right.
Shank had to take him out to get that wedding suit. And basically, Shank reiterated during that trip that if he doesn't go through with this marriage and lock it up, he's going to burn it all down. Paper, Pops, Marlon, it's all going up in flames. And now we're at the wedding in a polyester suit that looks great, by the way.
Sean says you look like a well-dressed booger. And what I also loved about this episode, Ronaldo Ray, unsung hero of comedy, man. Like this episode is like a Friday reunion. We got Ronaldo Ray, we got Bernie Mac, we got Mama, we got Pops.
No. yeah, dude, he is a great. I love the brevity of the wedding ceremony too, because he just basically gets up there, asks if anybody has any objections, and then he's like, "Y'all married."
Yeah, I told my wife I was running to the liquor store. He called him Orange Fox.
Yeah. There's a guy that they like. Sean says something like insults randomly that I think is at the wedding. Clearly, it was just a guy in the background that they just he just ripped on. It was so funny and everybody laughed. But the wedding ceremony, it's about to wrap up, and Marlon's just fingers crossed somebody's going to have an objection to this because he can't. So he's hoping somebody's going to stand up. He hopes Pops like makes a noise. He's like, "Oh, you got an objection?" And Pops is like, "No, I just got a little bit of something caught in my throat." Thank you, Mr. Shank.
Sean steps up though. He was like, "Man, you don't have to marry anybody you don't want to marry, Marlon." It's like, this is it. I'm finally sticking up for my brother. Nobody bosses him around except me. Yeah.
But Shank isn't having it. He gets up first, but because obviously she had no idea. Charmaine's like, "Wait, Shank, what's going on here? Did you threaten him into and the jig's up basically." And then obviously Shank's been made to beat up this gangster, Steve. But Charmaine she's crippled. She instantly cripples him. She's like, "You wet the bed." So, at that point, there's no intimidation left, Steve. She basically, and this is how cool Charmaine is. She's about to get married. She finds it was a messed up situation. She's cool with it. She's like, "You know what, Marlon, you're cool. We're not getting married. We'll wrap this up later." But turns out Shank's just her brother living with his mother and wetting the bed, Steve, but also intimidating people in a pool hall. So there's that dichotomy there.
I got a bladder problem. And then in the the closing, they're trying to buy parts of Marlon's suit. I think Pops offers $20
for the whole shebang, but then that TC guy's like, "Man, I'll give you 20 for the pants."
Yeah. Did I hear something from Chris Rock over there?
That was the guy, because they cut over to him and he's just like, "Man, what the hell?"
But
what a great show, man. Hell yeah. And they also, strangely enough, Steve, and maybe I missed him, Tiny Zeus Lister, or no, I'm sorry, Michael Clark Duncan is credited in this episode by IMDb, and that might be a mistake.
I was looking for that. Maybe I'd have to watch it again to try to catch it. Maybe he was like super background, but I don't remember any other speaking parts outside of the people that,
He wouldn't just be a silent guy, especially like this time. I feel like he was famous-ish, right?
97. Green Mile didn't come out until like 98, 99. And actually, this is 90. Yeah, this is 97.
Oh, he was silent Friday, if you think about it. If you count, man,
a lot of Friday.
Great. That is crazy though. Shout out, man. Love the Wayans brothers.
But in 1999, Jawbreaker premieres. Three of the most popular girls at Reagan High accidentally kill the prom queen with a jawbreaker when a kidnapping goes horribly wrong. Directed by Darren Stein, starring Rose McGowan, Rebecca Gayheart, Julie Benz, Judy Greer, Chad Christ, Ethan Erickson, Carol Kane, and Pam Grier.
That's it, Steve. You want to watch this movie? That's what will bring you to the movie. I feel like this is what this movie is, Steve. Man movie, a lot of 90s hotties, and then you got Pam Grier. And my 90s hottie alert in this movie, aside from Pam Grier, she's timeless. Rebecca Gayheart, dude. I forgot, Steve. I used to have
Was
the
she?
biggest crush on Rebecca Gayheart. You just got to look her up. I think she's the one that goes against Rose McGowan.
Oh, I know who she is, but what wasn't she the Clarisil girl or something like that for a while, or not
She
Zima? She was
maybe. I don't remember the commercial, but I just remember like this is one of the ones. She made me feel stuff for sure.
Rose McGowan was for me, man, and especially
Oh
in this movie because Matt, you already know,
yeah,
man, she's dark,
you
and
were just
she
yak-a-lacking to this, Steve. Did you watch The Craft a lot, Steve? That's another movie where I feel like that was right up your alley too, just in terms of
it
a.
is, but I've never seen it. It
Oh
hasn't hit my
wow,
timeline yet. Yeah,
man.
one day, but
I thought you were going to be like, yeah, I can only get about 5 minutes in, and I just came everywhere, and I never got past that. But no, okay, check it out, Steve.
I will.
A very hot black chick got me into that movie, but there's
Mary
a
Jane.
bunch of really dark white chicks in that, yeah, that I think are right up your alley, especially that one that kind of has a sensational Sherry vibe.
Mm.
Bobby Boucher's girlfriend, you know what I'm
Oh,
talking about.
yeah, she's perfect for that. Yeah, but Jawbreaker though, man, great movie. First time watching this, and this is another one of those things that kind of reminds me of Perrysburg. I feel like we went to school with some chicks like this, minus the killing part. Maybe they did, and just they daddy had money and they could cover up stuff. But
Yeah, and I also think I just feel like a lot of girls really enjoyed this movie. Like this was a movie that I never really watched, but I remember watching it because I was either dating somebody that was into it or it was just like on. But I feel like for what it is, I'm not a huge fan, but man, a lot of hotties in it, Steve. So you can call it a good movie. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
yeah, that's not bad. But
Nah.
also in 99, Office Space premieres. Three company workers who hate their jobs decide three company workers who hate their jobs decide to rebel against their greedy boss. Directed by Mike Judge, starring Ron Livingston, Jennifer Aniston, Stephen Root, and Gary Cole.
I can't talk to my mother, so I talk to my diary. Um, this is a 10 out of 10, Steve. The only thing I say about this, cut 20 minutes out of it, and it'd be a perfect movie in terms of comedy. But you can't lose with Mike Judge.
Never.
I mean, he's made a few movies. I think this is the everyone's top movie of his, and it's a office drone's dream, Steve. I watched this movie and said, I'm never going to do that. And then I've crippled myself and gotten into corporate America. And this movie is exactly what I want to happen to my life. Just not give a fuck and just say, fuck it. And then you'll succeed, Steve. That's what this movie teaches us.
Yeah, Ron Livingston became a cult folk hero just off this movie alone because like you said, a lot of guys, it's kind of like Stone Cold. Everybody daydreams about beating their boss's ass. He beat his boss's ass in a different way. He beat his company's ass.
Yeah. I mean, to rip off, and I love it. It's a crime movie. There's like this weird little crime that they're pulling, which I would also love to do. A way to skim money off the top, free of charge. I love it. I'm here for it. And what I think this movie does is that, the main character is kind of a boring character, Steve. He's zen. He just doesn't give a shit. but it's all these weird people that he has in his life around him in this movie that you see that are perfect. All of them. Diedrich Bader, who plays just this guy with a mullet, who you see maybe in for like a minute in the movie total, makes you laugh.
He's so great in
Stephen
this.
Root, his character, one of the most memorable characters in the movie. Lumberg, even that guy that's like the O face guy, that that guy, yeah. And the Bobs, the Richard, the jumping to conclusions guy who tries to kill himself in his car. It's like all of it.
Wilford Brimley's little brother.
His name's Richard Reel, I think is
Richard Reel. John C. McGinley, man, he pops up sporadically throughout the 90s. He's been around way, like Platoon. He was in Platoon.
Even the guy who's at Tchotchke's, that's like the ass kiss waiter, that's like
real chipper.
Sounds like somebody's got a keys to Mondays. Like even that guy kills it. So it's another movie that's incredibly quotable. And the like Samir, him, he's great. Mother shitter.
Not gonna work here anymore. Oh, by the way, that guy is Paul from Cheers. Does he look familiar?
You know his name's Paul Wilson. His name's Paul's.
Paul Wilson. Yeah. Shout out to Gary Cole. We've talked about him before. I didn't realize he played the dad. He played Mike Brady in the Brady Bunch movie, the spoofy movie that they brought back.
Yeah, definitely. Hell yeah. He was he was in Talladega Nights too. He was Ricky Bobby's dad in that.
He was in Pineapple Express.
But I feel like this movie is like this is the thing that got him everything, dude. Everyone knows Lumberg. Lumberg fucked her. Lumberg fucked her.
He was in Gang Related with Jim Belushi and Tupac. Gary Cole has Tupac stories.
Hey, man. This guy's a legend, but
he is.
I don't think anybody hates this movie.
No.
Like I said, I think it's like a little too long in the tooth. And that's my only critique of it. But that's a small critique. And like I said, Michael Bolton, like even that one little joke is so great, man. So just shout out to Michael Bolton for that scene where he's rapping in his car, because it's
relatable, that.
Yeah. Not the logic of the car door, but just hardcore rapping as a white guy in your car to something. It's just not a great look. So sometimes I do turn it down.
But
not when I see a black person. It's just when I see any person. Does that make sense?
No, totally.
You're racist. I get it.
I did notice that Ghetto Boys was prevalently used in this movie, and I think that's intentional because Mike Judge is from Texas. Ghetto Boys, they're from Houston, so he wanted to have them represent. And this is me speculating, but it makes sense.
That's awesome, though. And I mean, that's Mike Judge's call. That's what's cool about being a creator. You can put stuff you like in movies, and it also is just as perfect for these nerdy guys to be. They're killing a printer to this song. You know, like it's so good, man. It just worked.
And it was a team effort. Like those guys, they basically hacked the systems, got some money from the job that they hate. But then when they were worried, no, Milton's got it covered because he's just going to burn it all down so they can't trace anything. Love it.
I'm just going to burn down the building. I knew a Milton too. See, I remember working in LA at this call center. I was like, that guy is Milton for sure.
Can make sure to be on his good side.
Hell yeah. But what a great movie, man. Mother shitter.
Any callbacks for this week?
I just wanted to just say that something I've realized as we've talked recently, Sam Raimi's come up a lot. And I didn't realize how much of a Sam Raimi fan I was. But watching Army of Darkness again, and I mean, this guy's made like Marvel movies at this point and revolutionized that as well. And it's cool to when you see these movies, like especially with a director who has like I'm trying to think of how to word this. Like they have like a specific like visual style. Like Sam Raimi does these things in movies that he does in like a cheap movie like Army of Darkness or Evil Dead, and he'll do in like $100 million superhero movie. And I just feel like that's very cool. To see somebody like that get to that level. We've seen it with like Robert Rodriguez, who I'm a huge fan of. And I don't know. I just don't I just haven't thought about movies like that a lot. It is cool to see that, man. Just shout out to Sam Raimi and shout out to Bruce Campbell, who I think, along with Michael Jai White, are two guys who just underutilized in general by Hollywood. Always said it. Michael Jai White too, a little bit more, but that's for another discussion, Steve. What about you?
Two things. So Baywatch in 19 damn it. When did they air that? Well, anyways, Baywatch, they're airing the episode with Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Kevin Sullivan. They're all in it. And the girls, they basically save Hulk Hogan. He flies off of a what is it, one of those jet skis? He falls off a jet ski trying to race Macho Man. They bring him to shore, save him, and he's there to save this children's center that was bought out by Ric Flair. And in order to save, and Vader's in this too. So in order to save the youth center, they must beat Vader and Ric Flair in a tag team match. And yeah, I wanted to cover this, but the Martin episode, I didn't want to have like 2 1 hour shows, man.
I mean, it's the idea of Kevin Sullivan's in it, drowning, and they're like, somebody go save that little kid. And they get out there and like, oh God, let him just drown him. Let him die. Just let him die.
The funny thing is, like, everybody else is talking like they're them. Like Kevin Sullivan, he has his getup. He's got like the crazy eyebrows and stuff. He's just uncomfortable to look at. But in 1997, Larry Sanders is airing the roast, and Larry decides to have a roast in his honor. But the main thing I wanted to get to was Hank. He wants to chime in, but they're trying to keep him away because his jokes they're falling flat. And he gets to the point where he starts like, what do you call it when you're like, you're talking shit to the comedian? What do you?
He's heckling.
Gee, that's why I shouldn't smoke before these recordings, man. But yeah, he's heckling all the performers at the roast, and John Lovitz, he snaps back at him like, dude, are you trying to make a joke, Artie? What's wrong with you? Are you on something? Hey, man, I don't knock the dick out of your ass when you're.
I love the panic comedian joke. I don't knock the mop out of your hand, bitch. I love that. I like John Lovitz being on the. Hey, man, are you trying to make a joke?
Not John Lovitz. Like John Stewart. Jesus.
Oh, okay. Damn. The marijuana has taken effect. It's fine.
And it's late.
I love it. I love that idea. Man, too many good episodes of stuff this week.
It was tough, man. But I'd like to have a roast one day. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister that I'm colored, I'm happy, and I'm singing. Oh, I'm a brother. I'm happy and I'm singing and I'm colored. Don't give me a high five, bitch. Please check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crushgasm every Wednesday. Our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle and Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Matt G with Happening Around Here. I hope this background.